Picture this. You stroll onto a seedy orbital lot, buy a second-hand starship that looks suspiciously like a humpback whale, and the salesman waves goodbye so fast you can practically smell the afterburn of regret. Welcome to Whale's Voyage, the 1993 DOS/Amiga curio that duct tapes wizardry-style grid crawls to elite flavored commerce, then slathers the result in Eurotechno glitter. Underrated? Absolutely. Outside German hobby shops, it shifted fewer units than a Betamax revival. Overhyped? Only if you were Neo Software's accountant praying for Wing Commander money. Fundamental? Depends on whether you believe living spacecraft and genome-spliced crew creation deserve a marble bust in the CRPG Hall of Fame. Teen me certainly did. In short, Whale's Voyage is the eccentric uncle of sci-fi role-playing, too weird to ignore, too awkward for polite dinner talk, yet still capable of swallowing 30 hours faster than its namesake, Gulp Star Fuel. Historical context: by early 1993, Austria's Neo Software, the tiny studio that would one day mutate into Rockstar Vienna, occupied 3 cramped rooms above a Viennese cafe. Their mandate from publisher Flare Software: make a space RPG that feels like Mega Traveler, but crank the eccentricity to 11. The result launched in Europe as Whale's Voyage, a North American build, rebadged Distant Frontiers, arrived a few months later, Whale silhouette intact on the box. The PC landscape they joined was nuts. Origin's Strike Commander was melting 486, SSI's Dark Sun teased texture map deserts, and Interplay's voice-acted Star Trek 25th anniversary promised Hollywood in a floppy. Against that backdrop, Whale's Voyage looked almost quaint, 32 color copper gradients, MIDI fanfares, and a manual that cheerfully declared mouse optional, yet magazines noticed. Amiga Joker handed it a respectable 74%, praising the Whale wonderful, their pun not mine, mix of genres. Over in Britain, CU Amiga found the trading loop repetitive and splashed a frosty 45% across its review spread, a disparity that left schoolyard debaters with fresh ammo. I first encountered the game via an Amiga format cover disc, a time-limited demo that stranded my freshly gene-spliced crew in orbit while alarms bleated like techno sheep. 10 minutes later, I realized the trade console hid behind F-key labyrinths. DOS ergonomics. Thy name is awkward finger stretch. Still, the promise of piloting a bioengineered Leviathan through vacuum felt like sci-fi Christmas. Those were the days when multimedia meant FMV, but little Neo Software bet on multi-genre instead, fusing cockpit screens, first-person dungeons, and an economy that looks suspiciously like a Lotus 123 spreadsheet in disguise. Mechanics Genetic Roulette. Before you even board the whale, the game hands you a pipette and a Petri dish. Character creation uses 2 parental DNA strings that you splice across 4 crewmates, toggling gene sliders for height, vision, lung capacity, even hair pigment. The manual brags about countless possibilities. In practice, you're surfing hundreds of combinations, enough to create a pilot with hawk eyes but spaghetti arms, or a brawler who can't hack a console to save his life. Attributes feed directly into skill pools. Perception underpins piloting, charisma boosts merchant haggling, and robustness keeps your medic from blacking out in high-G environments. Early mistuning is survivable, but min-maxers soon learn to custom grow a merchant prince and a tanky engineer, while letting the 4th crewmate languish as comic relief janitor. Life inside a Leviathan, your mobile home, is equal parts companion, animal, and HUD. The interior renders as claustrophobic, first-person corridors ribbed like a cathedral built from cartilage. Eye of the beholder, but the dungeon master has a blowhole. A quick keyboard volley flips from bridge to engine bay to med lab. Each sporting touch panel overlays that beep like Vienna's answer to Star Trek TNG. Outside, a flat stellar chart offers half a dozen named systems: Helios, Charon, Tarvos, and a few procedurally sprinkled refueling rocks. Fuel, time, and random events gate travel. Meteor swarms, ping hull integrity, customs patrols demand paperwork, and pirates occasionally hail with all the subtlety of a mugger brandishing a digital crowbar. Unlike later space sims, the whale's vitality hinges on biotech supplies. Damaged plating is patched with enzyme kits. Sonar organs get tuned via pricey neurotransistors, and routine upkeep involves feeding nutrient gel, pure maintenance, not the stat buffing miracle cure my childhood rumor mill once imagined. Skip repairs and the whale's morale, yes, morale, dips, nudging random event odds ever so slightly against you. The system is light touch, but it sells the fantasy that your ride really is alive. Profit and peril trading drives the macro loop. Each port displays dynamic buy-sell prices dictated by planetary demand curves. Cigars spike on ascetic monk worlds. Medical gel crashes when quarantine lifts on Tarvos. Prices refresh only after undock, so speculation carries genuine risk. Fill cargo holds with synthetic silk just before pirates show up and you'll limp home broke. Critics sometimes call the economy generous. CRPG Addicts Marathon logged billions of credits by mid-game, but pirates and maintenance bills still chew capital if you push your luck. The interface is pure pre-Windows maximalism. F2 toggles market rates, F5 arms missiles, Shift F10 fires escape pods. At first it feels like piloting a B-29 bomber through keyboard hell, but muscle memory soon clicks, and like learning Vim, you start to miss the macros elsewhere. Down dirt side land on a planet, and the screen shifts into 90-degree grid exploration. Sprites scrolling tile by lumbering tile. The dungeons, abandoned mines, cryo vaults, labyrinthine alien temples offer traps, loot crates, and Sierra-style NPC errands. One mid-game quest involves delivering contraband brandy to a bureaucrat whose slurred gratitude unlocks an immigration pass. Puzzle flavor-wise, think Starflight's planetary away missions, spliced with Wizardry 6's riddles but minus permadeath. Combat, should diplomacy fail, triggers a tactical overlay. A square-gridded battlefield where your 4 crewmates shuffle turn by turn. Instead of fancy hex wargame geometry, you get chunky cursor moves, manual targeting, and a shared energy meter funneled into shield or blaster output. Lining up shots feels stiff, but visual feedback, little red splats for damage, blue pulses for psionics, adds old-school charm. Win and loot might include exotic alloys or alien relics you can hawk back at port. Lose and you reload an autosave, scowling at your own greed. Random space encounters crank the tension. Customs officials searching your hold may spot illegal goods, triggering dialogue trees influenced by reputation. A composite score built from past philanthropic choices, charisma rolls, and, amusingly, whether the whale's hull decor offends species-specific aesthetics. Annoy the feline Allorians with synthetic whalebone paneling, and they'll price gouge docking fees, sending trade margins tumbling. The absurd through line. Every good retro title needs a gimmick. Whale's Voyage doubles down on the living spacecraft conceit. Alarms come across as worried whale song. Autopilot hums like contented purring, and the game over screen shows your vessel wheezing violet exhaust before keeling over like a beached calf. Is it melodramatic? Sure. Does the anthropomorphic presentation craft an emotional hook? Absolutely. One YouTuber recently called it Tamagotchi meets Starflight, and I can't top that. Legacy and influence commercial impact was modest. English-speaking players mostly missed it, but German-language markets kept the engine humming, enough that Neo built a sequel in 1995, Whale's Voyage, the Seku, Die Übermacht, though it remained German-only until a fan translation surfaced in 2018. Its genre mashup echoed later in Russian titles like Parkan and Precursors, both Cockpit Plus RPG experiments. Meanwhile, Neo Software's next career arc became Legend, purchased, rebadged Rockstar Vienna. They quietly optimized Grand Theft Auto console ports. Proof that the Whale's afterglow helped propel bigger fish. Why didn't it break mainstream? 3 strikes. Flare Software couldn't match Origin's marketing muscle. The learning curve demanded you memorize more hotkeys than a Lotus Notes power user. And the tone ricocheted between goofy bio-whale whimsy and hard-edge economic calculus, confusing box shoppers skimming screenshots. Yet for those who clicked, the hybrid flavor became unforgettable. Like discovering your spreadsheet suddenly blasts lasers between cells. Closing paragraph plus score fire up Whale's Voyage in DOSBox today, and your first reaction may be to laugh at its CGA-adjacent palettes, groan at the F-key sprawl, and wonder why your engineer sneezes in zero-G. Stick with it, though, and beneath those whale-sized quirks emerges a choose-your-own space opera where every decision, splicing crew DNA, bartering silk on monk asteroids, soothing your star beast with enzyme patches, shifts the universe's mood. Is it polished? Not a chance. Menus squeak like rusted airlocks, and some dungeon crawls drag on longer than a 900 baud download. But few games, then or now, tackle such a bonkers premise with this much earnest gusto. Final tally, 7.4 out of 10. Points docked for barnacle-thick UI rust. Points added for daring to make your spaceship both marketplace and mammal. To paraphrase the salesman who palmed it off on me, she's a handful, kid, but she'll sing if you treat her right.